Hello boys and girls, welcome to the Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. The Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program is a 30-minute radio intervention support program that is meant to provide continuous instruction to keep you academically engaged during this stay-at-home period, as well as preparing you, our 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for the pending Liberia Primary School Certificate Exam, Liberia Junior High School Certificate Exam, and West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Exam when the time comes. Also, in addition to this academic support, the program is meant to provide psychosocial support for learners, teachers, and parents, and also tips on how you as parents and teachers can provide support to your students and children at home. Now, let's join our teacher for today's lesson.
Hello students, we are teachers Che Kriboti K. Solomon
and Mr. Aaron T. Bala
of Rising Academies. This is the Rising Youth Movement Partnership for the Ministry of Education COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. Lesson number 24. Our lesson today is math for the students of grade 3 to 4, and the topic is subtracting 3-digit numbers by regrouping using expanded notation. For today's lesson, we will be able to solve some subtraction problems by regrouping or carrying over. Expand them, meaning and subtrahend into hundreds, tens, and ones. Represent numbers in the subtraction by using pictures. While we listen to these COVID-19 health tips, please take out your pencil, pen, copybooks, and get ready for today's lesson. Again, welcome. Let's learn.
What are the symptoms of COVID-19? COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, shortness of breath. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problem, kidney failure, or death. If you have a fever or any kind of respiratory difficulty, such as coughing and shortness of breath, call your doctor.
Welcome back to Radio Math. Hello students, I hope you are feeling good and ready to learn more about numbers. Today, we will be reading and writing numbers in different forms. Here are our fun activities. Mindful moment to get our brains settled and ready to learn. Number warm-up to practice our counting skills. Number workout to work on subtracting numbers. Lastly, challenge problem to apply what we have learned. For today's class, you need paper or pencil, your hundreds bundles, tens sticks, and ones counters. If you don't have all these things, that's okay. You can still participate in our lesson today by drawing squares for hundreds, little sticks for tens, and dots for ones. Please gather the materials you need. You will also need to ask someone in your house to be your special partner for today. I want you to please ask them to get ready now.
Thank you, Teacher Kubo. Every day, we will start with a calming, mindful movement to get our brains ready to learn. When we are mindful, we are aware of our bodies, our feelings, and our thoughts in the presence of movement. Today, we will do a deep breathing exercise. Are you ready? Great. First, I want you to sit up and close your eyes. We are going to take 10 deep breaths together. You will put your hands on your belly so you can feel your breathing. You will put your hands on your heart to feel it beating. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I will count for us. While we breathe, I want you to keep your eyes closed Let's start. Breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Great. Students, we will warm up our bodies and brains with an activity called Count and Move. Did you know that moving your body can help improve your memory? We are going to do a number of movements. As we do, we will practice our subtraction fights within 20. As you subtract, I want you to run in place. Ready? 20 minus 10 is what?
10.
19 minus 10 is what?
9.
18 minus 10 is what?
8.
17 minus 10 is what?
7.
16 minus 10 is what?
6.
15 minus 10 is what?
5.
14 minus 10 is what?
4.
13 minus 10 is what?
3.
12 minus 10 is what?
2.
11 minus 10 is what?
1.
Great job. Let's keep practicing subtraction. This time, I want you to move your arms in large circles as you subtract. Ready? Go. 10 minus 1 is what?
9.
10 minus 2 is what?
8.
10 minus 3 is what?
7.
10 minus 4 is what?
6.
10 minus 5 is what?
5.
10 minus 6 is what?
4.
10 minus 7 is what?
3.
10 minus 8 is what?
2.
10 minus 9 is what?
1.
10 minus 10 is what?
0.
Wow, you are so strong with your body and your mind. If you work it out and practice, it will only get stronger. Let's move on to our number workout activity. Before then, let's join Teacher Kubo for a special message.
You are listening to the Ministry of Education COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. This is your lower basic primary math level 2 for grade 3 to 4, and we are your teachers. Okay, students, we are going to continue our work with subtracting 3-digit numbers. Today, we are going to explore what happens when we don't have enough tens and ones in the meaning to subtract. Listeners, make a place value chart with 3 columns. And I want you to label the left column hundreds, label the middle column tens, and label the right column ones. Thank you. Our first problem is 854 minus 627. I say that again. Our first problem is 854 minus 627. Let's represent the meaning in subtraction using hundreds squares, tens sticks, in ones dots. Remember, the minuend is the larger number and the subtrahend is the smaller number. So listeners, I want you to represent 854 with 8 squares in the hundreds place, 5 sticks in the tens place, and 4 dots in the ones place.
Great. Since we are subtracting, we are going to cross pictures off so we don't have to draw 627. But we know we can represent 627 with 6 squares in the hundreds place, 2 sticks in the tens place, and 7 dots in the ones place.
Great job! Just like before, we are going to represent subtraction by crossing out a picture. Let's start with the ones. 4 ones minus 7 ones. What's the problem here?
I can subtract 7 ones from 4 ones. If I try to cross out my dots, I will only be able to cross out 4 and still have 3 more that I need to cross off.
So, where can we get more ones?
So, we need to break down one of my 10 sticks into ones so I can subtract. This makes sense because a 10 sticks is 10 ones. Cross off one of your 10 sticks and add 10 dots into your ones column. Now, count how many ones you have now. I had 4 plus 10. So now, I have 14 ones. This is called regrouping.
Great! Now in the ones place, we have to do 14 minus 7. This makes sense because our minuend is larger than the subtrahend. I can represent this by crossing off 7 dots. Listeners, I want you to cross 7 dots off in the ones column and tell me how many ones do you have left?
I have 7 dots left. So, I have 7 ones.
So listeners, I want you to write 7 down in the ones column. Now, let's move to the tens column. We now only have 4 tens in our minuend. We need to subtract 2 tens. To represent that, we are going to cross off 2 tens. 4 sticks minus 2 sticks. Leave us with how many sticks?
This leaves off with 2. We have 2 sticks, which means 20. Write 20 down in the tens column.
Finally, we have our hundreds column. We have 8 squares we need to subtract or take away. 6 squares. I want you to cross off 6 squares. What is the difference?
Okay, 8 minus 6 equal 2. We have 2 squares, which means we have 200. Let's write 200 in the hundreds column. That is 200 plus 20 plus 7 equals 227. The difference of 854 minus 627 is 227.
Wow! Great job, students. Let's try another one. Write down 444 minus 252. Again, write down 444 minus 252. Listeners out there, let's represent 444 using squares, sticks, and dots. Great! You should have written 4 squares in the hundreds place, 4 sticks in the tens place, and 4 dots in the ones place. Therefore, I want you to tell your partner how we will subtract 252 using squares, sticks, and dots.
Great. We will have to cross off 2 squares in the hundreds place, 5 sticks in the tens place, and 2 dots in the ones place.
Perfect. Let's do the subtraction by starting in the ones place.
Okay. We are going to cross off 2 dots in the ones place. 4 ones minus 2 ones is 2 ones.
Listeners, now I want you to subtract the tens. What do you notice?
We need to subtract 4 tens minus 5 tens. But 4 is larger than 5.
Great. So listeners, I want you to explain to your partner what we need to do now.
Okay, we need to regroup by breaking down 100 squares into 10 sticks and moving into the tens place. So, let's cross off 100 squares and add 10 sticks to the tens column.
Great. Listeners, do this and count how many sticks you have in the tens place.
Okay, we now have 14 sticks. 4 plus 10 equals 14. Now we can subtract 14 tens minus 5 tens. Cross off 5 10 sticks. How many do we have left? We should have 9 sticks left. 9 sticks represent 90. Write 90 in the tens column.
Great work. Now, let's subtract the hundreds. We now have 3 squares and we need to subtract 2. Listeners, I want you to tell your partner why we only have 3 squares instead of the 4 we started with.
We only have 3 squares because we regrouped 100 squared and broke it down into 10 sticks. We did that because we could not subtract 5 sticks in the tens place from the 4 sticks we had before.
Excellent work. Now, let's do the math. 3 squares minus 2 squares equals what number?
Okay, this will be equal to 1 square. So, that is 300 minus 200 is equal to 100. So, 100 plus 90 plus 2 will be equal to 192. So, 444 minus 252 gives us a difference of 192.
Wow! Great explanation. Okay, students, what should we do when we don't have enough tens or ones to subtract from?
We have to regroup. We have to break down one of our large numbers into smaller pieces so we can do the subtraction. Once we borrow from a large place value, we can subtract to find the difference.
Okay, students, thank you so much. We join Teacher Aaron for our next activity called Challenge Problem.
Wow! I always feel so much more focused after taking a short break. Now, let's do a fun challenge problem to apply what we have learned today. Today, I'm going to tell you a little story, and we are going to use subtraction to help us find out what happened. Listen. One morning, Valimo went for a walk. At the beginning of his walk, he saw 362 birds. By the time he came home, there were only 148 birds left. How many birds flew away? Let me say that one more time. One morning, Valimo went for a walk. At the beginning of his walk, he saw 362 birds. By the time he came home, there were only 148 birds remaining. How many birds flew away? Who can help me think about this problem?
Yes, I can help. I listened to your story. So, I know that there were 362 birds at the beginning. 362 is our minimum. It's our bigger number. 148 is our subtrahend. We need to find 362 minus 148 in order to find the number of birds that flew away.
That's right. That is a right thinking. What should you do next?
I represent 362 in pictures. We have 3 squares, 6 sticks, and 2 dots. Therefore, I know that 148 can be represented by 1 square, 4 sticks, and 8 ones. For this problem, we are going to subtract by crossing out a picture. Let's start with the ones. Oh no, I can do 2 minus 8 because I don't have enough dots to cross out. How should I think about this? Okay, today we learned that when we don't have enough ones, we need to break down one of the 10 sticks into ones so I can subtract. I'll cross off one stick and add 10 ones to the ones place. 10 plus 2 is 12. So now I have 12 ones. Therefore, 12 minus 8 is 4. So I write 4 in the ones column. We can move to the tens place. Since we regrouped earlier, we only have 5 sticks remaining. So 5 sticks minus 4 sticks is 1. So I write 1 in the tens place. Finally, we can look at our hundreds place. 3 squares minus 1 square leaves us with 2 squares. So I can write 2 in the hundreds place. Our final answer is 214. This means that 214 birds flew away.
Great work, students. I really like how you apply your regrouping skills to this problem. Let's join Teacher Kubo for the summary of our lesson.
Thank you, Teacher Aaron. Well, that's it for our lesson. Great work regrouping with subtraction. Last section, I asked you to make up your own problem and share it with your friend. I hope you had a fun working on that challenge together. I learned so much by discussing a subtraction problem with my friend.
Yes, we practiced and reviewed the concept of regrouping.
Great. So for our next section, here is your first problem. I want you to make sure you write it down. Number 1, write down 543 minus 217. Again, the first problem, write down 543 minus 217. The second problem is 638 minus 345. Again, 638 minus 345. Great job today, students. Stay safe.
See you next time.
Thank you for all your hard work. Take out your pencil, pen, and write down the list of the following radio stations that will help you to listen to more of this lesson. Troop FM 96.1, ELBC 99.9, ELUM 98.7, Hot FM 107.9, Cool FM 91.9, Equas Radio 91.5, Kings FM 88.5, Freedom FM 87.9, OK FM 99.5, SETI FM 90.2. You can also follow us on community radio stations across the country. Ministry of Education Facebook page at Ministry of Education-Liberia or on the Ministry of Education website www.moe-liberia.org.
Boys and girls, if you have any questions on today's lesson, you can kindly send them through this number 0555 670833. Again, if you have any questions on today's lesson, you can kindly send them through this number 0555 670833. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for that helpful reminder. Boys and girls, that is the end of our class today. We are so happy you were here with us. We hope to talk to you again soon. Goodbye from me, J. Kubo T.K. Solomon.
And goodbye from me, Mr. Aaron T. Bala.
Amen.